commitment coverage. The presidential-elect has been chosen, but the mayor's race in Sacramento not yet finalized.
And so joining us to provide some insight on all of it is political analyst Mike Lurie, very familiar to our KCRA3 viewers. Always good to see you, Mike.
Great to be here.
Let's start, of course, with the big story, the top story today. Any insight on this victory for now President-elect Donald Trump?
Right. Well, Donald Trump definitely hit the trifecta last night. There's no doubt about it. He's going to be winning the White House with not only the electoral vote, but also the popular vote by some 5 million votes. So that's very impressive. He will likely also have a Republican Senate and likely also a Republican House of Congress as well for the House of Representatives. How did he do it? Why did he do it? Because he had a very simple message. Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? And for most Americans, the answer was no.
Yeah, and a very interesting stat I looked up just before you got in here. Of course, Kamala Harris from California, but her support is interesting because currently she sits at 57% voter support from California voters. That's according to 270towin.com. It's the lowest support for a Democrat in 20 years.
In this state?
Yes,
yeah.
In this state. It's the last time the Dems had lower than 60% support, that was back in '04. That was when Kerry was running.
And this is her home state. She grew up here in the Berkeley, Oakland area, and so you think she'd have, overwhelming support in California. That's very disappointing from her standpoint. But I also heard another stat that came out last night, an exit poll that showed that 70% of the American voters said America is going in the wrong direction. And when that happens, people want change. And Donald Trump was the element, the candidate for change, whereas Kamala Harris was the candidate for status quo. And when people want change, they vote for change. And so Donald Trump got that. Now remember that she had an opportunity to distance herself from Biden. She was asked, how will you do things differently? She said, I don't really see a difference. We're going to do things the same. He's a very unpopular president. She didn't pivot, and I think it hurt her at the polls.
Yeah. One of the other things, of course, we want to talk about now, talking locally, the Sacramento mayor's race. Right now, Kevin McCarty has a 10% lead over Flo Kofer. Any insight on how you think this is going to shake out?
Yeah, I think there's a couple reasons why that's happening. Kevin McCarty is a very well-known name in Sacramento. He was on the Sacramento City Council for many years. In addition, he was on at the State Assembly and State Senate as well. And because of that, he has high name recognition, high name ID. He also had, significant more financial resources than Flo Kofer did. And I think he also had some significant support from the business community. There were also some very negative ads that came out on TV against her that were very damaging. And so you throw that all together, you take a known, recognized commodity of Kevin McCarty, and as a result, he's going to be probably our next mayor.
And those topics, of course, dealing with homelessness, encampments, as well as law enforcement.
Exactly.
All right, something we'll keep following for sure.
Yeah, so let's move on to Prop 36 because this was overwhelmingly approved by voters.
Right.
Were you shocked at least maybe the distance between the yeses and the nos?
I think we've all had the experience of going to a store like Target or Walgreens and finding out that why is everything under lock and key? I just wanted to get some razor blades, and and yet it's all under lock and key. Why is that? Because Prop 47, the predecessor to this, changed all that. It made $950 or less a misdemeanor instead of a felony, and it resulted in a lot of damage to stores at retail level. I had a Rite Aid store not far from me that was closing down. I went in and asked the manager, why is this happening? What's going on? And he said, people shoplift from us every day, every day, and they walk out knowing that there's no repercussions, nothing can happen to them, and they're losing business as a result. That's one of the reasons why prices go up, inflation, to cover the shrinkage at the stores. And I think people saw enough of that and said, I don't want everything under lock and key. This is now new rules of the road, and it's likely to be greater enforcement, and I think we'll see some significant changes.
We held a roundtable specifically on Prop 36, and one of the points that came out about that at that time was this question about, what happens when you talk about the shelter beds. There's always questions about where will the people go when you talk about this rehabilitation. So there still, I think, is a lot yet to be seen, because we do know this measure, although it has passed, it did not come with any funding specifically. So now when you look at smaller counties, there is this question about just how will it be implemented. So we'll have to be watching for that for sure.
The devil's always in the details, right? And how's it going to be implemented? But I think the political ramifications are also significant. Notice that Gavin Newsom distanced himself from the no on 36 side. He didn't campaign against it in really any significant way. I think he wanted to separate himself from what he knew was a losing measure. He said he didn't have enough bandwidth to do it, but really he didn't want to be associated with a losing measure. And I think the Democrats need to reset and figure out how to put things back in balance.
Mike, we always appreciate your insight.
You bet. My pleasure to be here.
We have to get you here more than
You're welcome back anytime.
Okay, you got it.
All right,
Totally.
Mike, thanks so much.
Thank you.